Life in a world that keeps changing. Think that it's progress you're making. Copy and paste pretty faces all the time. Pictures so perfect we play.
Chief Fani Kayode, how much can the citizens actually stand up to defend themselves? I mean, we've seen what's happening in the southeast, for instance, where the IPOB's ESN stood up and said we're going to defend our land. And right now, the group itself is under attack by the state forces.
Well, that's the problem, and that's why I said that, look, listen, there's nothing in the law that says you can't defend yourself. The situation whereby the government not only refuses to fight the insurgents and kill the terrorists, but not only insists on negotiating with them at times and paying them huge ransoms, which of course strengthens them all the more. But a situation whereby they also tell people that you cannot defend yourselves, you have no right to do that, and they go out of the way to disarm them. That raises a lot of questions, and that is something that, you know, that is precisely what will end up leading to a civil war in this country if we're not careful. You cannot tell people not to defend themselves. If somebody comes to your home to mass murder and kill your children, your wife, and everybody in that house, no government, no force on earth will tell you you cannot defend yourself, whatever weapons of war, instruments you may have. That is a fundamental human right, is a fundamental duty, and it's an obligation before God to defend your faith, to defend your people, to defend your family. That is very important. No government can stop you from doing that. And I think that it's about time that people took the bull by the horns and learn a little bit from history. You don't wait for government to come and defend you. Now, I'm not inciting anybody. All I'm saying is that terrorists have no place in any civilized country or even on earth. And human beings, civilized human beings, resist this type of evil with whatever they may have. So the idea that, oh, you must wait for the government and say, well, until the government arms us, until the government gives us permission to defend our wives, our children, and so on and so forth, is an erroneous one. You respond to necessity, and it is necessary to protect the life of your family, your kinsmen, your people, and your nation and your ethnic group. You need to do that. You must do it. You don't wait for anybody's permission. Where people are being labeled as terrorists and being demonized simply because they're defending themselves and their people, well, I think that's absolutely unacceptable. It's wrong. If the government doesn't want people to defend themselves and have arms to fight for themselves, then the government itself has to step in and do what governments are meant to do. Protect the lives of the people and stop terrorists from killing them morning, day and night. Until they do that, they have absolutely no right to tell people not to defend themselves. And they have no right to label as terrorists those that stand up and say enough is enough, we will not allow people to be killed.
Southwest region of the country.
Oh, it's gone.
Gone. Okay, let's
Are you sure someone's not jamming this?
No one. What exactly are the people doing? Because you said it's also a problem of leadership and followership. What exactly are the people doing really that is contributing to this a problem that you think the people should desist from doing? And then, so respond to that first.
That's a great question. Well, the first thing they're doing is not recognizing the challenges that we're facing. I mean, look, there's a very, very high level of delusion in this country that, oh, it can never happen to us. Things will not fall apart. We won't witness genocide here. Well, you've been witnessing genocide in other parts of your country for the last 5 years. You didn't say a word. Until it gets to your doorstep, you won't talk. And this is the problem with Nigeria and Nigerians. That, you know, it really doesn't matter as long as it doesn't come to me, my town, my household, or my family. The reality, though, is that over the last 5 years, the people of Benue have been experiencing genocide. The people of Zamfara have been experiencing genocide. All over the north, Taraba, Adamawa, all over the north where I live, a genocide has been experienced morning, day, and night. Mass murder, killing, ethnic cleansing. This has now moved down past the Middle Belt, through the core north, past the Middle Belt, down into the south. You go to the east, you go to the southwest, you go to the south-south. It's now all over the country. And now people are beginning to wake up. I think it's rather late. But I think what people need to understand is, you know, you need to be sensitive to the times. You need to understand what's going on. You need to recognize the fact that, look, if something isn't done fast by all of us, and we don't all come together and forget these very petty divisions and understand the barbarians are at the gate, we are going to end up having, you know, the kind of conflict that we have never had in this country before. Now, let me tell you, what should people do? The first thing is we need to continue to urge our government and our president to do better. The second thing is we need to understand that coming together is very important, because what's going on is that ethnic divisions and religious divisions are being fueled by those from outside, mainly foreign Fulanis and many foreign fighters that are fighting with Iswa and Boko Haram, to cause us to turn on one another and begin to kill ourselves. And the first thing we need to do is resist that temptation of falling into that trap and saying, I'm going to begin to attack anybody that's not part of my ethnic group and so on and so forth. That's part of what I call sensitizing people to the realities on the ground. We need to identify the common enemy. We need to fight the Fulani herdsmen. We need to, within the forests of the Southwest, particularly and throughout the South. We need to go in there, into those forests, and we need to do something about it. This is something that you don't need to wait for federal government. You also have to, your governors can take a lead. They can take a personal lead. They have security votes. They can fight this battle, and they can do a lot more than they're doing. And the people themselves have to understand and recognize the fact that the enemy are not other Nigerians. The enemies are mainly foreigners that have come to destroy Nigeria. People also have to recognize the fact there's an international dimension to all this. There are forces outside this country that wish to divide this country and turn it into a theater of war. For their own reasons, it's inexplicable, but this sort of thing happens all over the world, and it's been happening throughout for the last 20, 30 years particularly. And it's the same modus that they use all the time. They send in foreign-funded Islamist militias to destabilize, to destroy, to kill people until everybody turns against one another, and it becomes a theater of war. If you look at what happened in Chad, if you look at what happened in Mali, the two other countries in this West African sub-region where you have Islamist terrorism and Islamist insurgency, you see what happened there in the end. The governments were toppled, the presidents were both killed, and you now have military governments there. And I'm watching what's happening in Nigeria, and it really scares me that we pray we don't go in that direction as well, because it will get to a point that things may get so bad that people will say, well, look, enough is enough. Even the system of government is faulty and something has to change. We don't pray for that. We don't want that, but we must step up to the plate and understand that we need to stand up and fight. This is a war that we're in, and we pray it does not get any worse than it already is.
Welcome back, guys. Thank you very much for watching. And please, if you haven't subscribed, please kindly smash on that subscribe button. Put on the notification bell so you get to know anytime I drop a new video. Leave your opinion, what you think about this video at the comment section. Like the video and also share the video till I come your way again. Stay cool, stay safe. I love you all. Bye bye.